everyone. Today we're going to talk about how to run stems or multitracks when you have side chaining going on in your logic project. In other words, if you have a signal from one track triggering the side chain input on a compressor for another track. Let's say you have a kick triggering a side chain on a bass or a pad sound. So for example, let's say we have something simple like this. You can hear the side chaining going on the pad. If I take that compressor off, all right, no side chaining, but now and how is that accomplished? Well, you just choose which input channel that you want to trigger the compressor, right? Now, how do we run stems of this? Well, you're limited in your options. If you're in Logic and you just use, let's say, the solo, like soloing, like that's the way I used to do things manually, it's not going to work. Why? Well, because the kick drum isn't triggering the sidechain effect anymore. All right? For me to do that, I'd actually have to mute the channel, not turn it off, but mute it. Now the side chain's going. That's all fine and good, but if you're going to do things manually, that's going to take you forever. Wouldn't it be great if there was a way to do it all automatically, especially with a tool like Auto Bounce, where you can set up everything and let it run your stems automatically all at once? If you did it like this, where the kick drum that you hear is being used as a side chain, and you want to run stems or multi-tracks of the kick, the snare, the hi-hat, and the pad separately, Auto Bounce is going to turn off all the other tracks that you don't want to run as stems or multi-tracks. This means it's not going to trigger the compressor. Let me show you this. Okay, so I have Auto Bounce open here. It scanned all the tracks, and now I'm just going to simply run stems of the kick, the snare, the hat, and the pad. Here we go. Here we go. Let's check out what we have. Now, I already know this isn't going to work, but I want to show you. So we got our, let's do it in the order bounced. So hard kick, snare, hi-hat, and the pad. As expected, the side chaining effect is gone. So how are you supposed to do this with something like Auto Bounce so it can all be done automatically, but it keeps the side chaining effect? Well, here's another way to do it. So the idea here is that we need to keep that side chain effect on at all time, but we don't want to have the source of it be heard. Right? Because if we want that pad being affected, but we turn off all the other tracks, some of which are affecting that sidechain effect, it's not going to work. But here's another way to do it. So for example, I can create a duplicate of this kick track right here, except I'm going to call it, I'm just going to put a little star next to it and call it Ghost Kick. Okay. Now, the next thing is I don't want this to actually be audible. So I'm going to remove the stereo out and have it be no output. Now, if I want to run this as a stem, I need to combine it with the pad in some way. So for that, I'm just going to create a folder stack. And I'm just going to call it pad, with sidechain. Or just call it pad. It doesn't matter. So now we have it here as a combined element. If I solo that element, you can see the effect, and it's completely independent of the other stuff. So if I ran stems of this using on-off buttons, it works. And if it works with on-off buttons, it's going to work with Auto Bounce. Let's check it out. So now we launch Auto Bounce. Have it scan the project. Name the folder where we want our stems. select all the tracks, and hit bounce. And now we're done. Let's see what we have. All right. Check out our pad. There it is. And there you go. That's how you can use auto bounce even with a side chaining effect and have everything bounced out automatically for you. I hope you found this video enjoyable and informative. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.